Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath. So, for anybody jumping into the middle of this series of videos, people that have not watched from the start, I thought I would take some time at the beginning of this video to just introduce what I'm doing here. Explain what the series of videos are all about. So, I've been playing this character since level 1 under Permadeath rules. I'm part of the Extreme Explorers Guild on Salona, which is one of the main Permadeath guilds on DDO. As I say, this guy has been played from level 1 under Permadeath rules, and all of the questing this guy has done is on YouTube. So this video is part of a playlist. If you want to see everything this guy has done, you can go play the playlist from the start. And in this video I'm on my way over to... I can't even remember what the quest is called. The Scorpion one. Claw of Vulkoor, that's the one. And I'll grab one or two explorers while I'm on the way.
A hidden waterfall empties into a rushing stream, just one of many small brooks that feed the red Fens.
So, since this is a Permadeath character, if I die, then the character has to leave the guild, and at that point I will delete the character, and the videos will end. So hopefully that won't happen for a while yet. This guy's been going pretty well so far. If you want to see how Permadeath usually goes, then you can see my other playlist on my YouTube account, which is the previous Permadeath soloer that I was playing up. I was recording that guy, and it went well for a while, and then he died and the videos ended. Wow, lots of rares in here. That's a pretty good build too. Oh, the spider is moving. And I may as well grab the Mudpot Explorer while I'm out on this side.
Liquid mud boils up from the earth below, flooding the area. Perhaps this is the source of the strange mud creatures that inhabit the swamp.
Okay, the rare is not here, that's all I wanted to check. So, I'm playing a Pal Master here, as you can see. In zombie form at the moment. I should switch over to vampire form of the shrine. I've been running around in zombie form in some of the quests that have clerical enemies, but this one does not. At least not that I remember. So I can go back to vampire form, which is certainly better for... it's better wherever you can use it.
Flickering braziers now show that this marks the beginning of the fire giant's territory.
Oh, spiders. Fiendish Lion Hunter. How come I've killed so many Fiendish Lions? You only really get Fiendish Lions at higher levels, I thought. There must have been somewhere that has a lot of lions. Okay. Vampire form, that's better. So this is the highest level I've ever got a Pale Master to in the game. So far I'm liking this build pretty well. I went Dwarf for extra constitution. So my con is good, I've got good saves. It's going well. And I've taken a lot of strength on this guy as well, which is why I'm wielding an axe. That's been pretty useful at low levels, being able to do some melee damage. Maybe just getting to the levels where it's not really so useful, having the melee ability. But it's still at least somewhat useful. Okay, so lots of fire giants in here. All right. So, just to go over the rules again, for anybody that's new, or anyone that wants a refresher. Extreme Explorers is a Permadeath guild, so no resurrection shrines allowed to be used. When you're dead, the character leaves the guild, and as I say, I delete the character if I die. You can be raised if there's another character in your group, another player that can raise you. But not by Resurrection Shrine or...
So Brian bellows, "Silence, slaves! Curse you and your
Damn it.
insolence!"
There he goes.
Iona whispers from your backpack,
I bet I can. There we go. Good luck.
Alright, nice. So you can be raised if there's another player in the group that can raise you, which doesn't apply to me since I'm soloing here. And have been soloing throughout the whole series so far. Might be a trap in this room, so I'll stand back. You can't be raised by hirelings either. No resurrection shrines, and no hirelings allowed over level 6. I haven't used hirelings really for anything much, just pulling levers. And usually I've been able to use the skeleton for that, which is nice. So yeah, I think I just used one in the quest in Necro 1 that's supposed to require 4. Okay, this room. This room can be trappy sometimes. I'm gonna try and float through it, get out of it as fast as possible. Okay, where did the giant go? The more the merrier, come on, come on. Alright. So since this is Permadeath, I'm not allowed to...
Iona whispers...
See the octagonal pressure plate?
Iona whispers...
The claw stirs in here. Let my staff show you the way.
I'm not allowed to receive equipment from any other character, other than one heirloom item that I received from one of my earlier Permadeath characters that died, which was a low-level item that I've long since got past now. The guild allows you to exchange items with other people if they're in a similar level range, and they're also Permadeath characters in the guild. I've not been using that on this guy. Okay. Now I think it's going to be futile to try and do anything about these scorpions. I think I'll just have to fight them. I did swap in invisibility before coming in here though. So I'll give it a try, but I don't think it's going to work.
Iona whispers...
Careful. I sense many guardians near. If you can activate my staff or an octagon near each guardian, you can pacify them one at a time. But you must remain unnoticed, or the magic won't work.
Maybe that worked. Wow. I didn't think this guy stood any chance. Did come in on hard, didn't I? Yep. Of course, I'm having to run around with no healing on to do this, which may turn out to be a bad plan. Where's the pressure pad? Wow. That's better than we often do with a rogue in the party. I very rarely use invisibility. I gather some people really swear by it. It's a very useful tool, I gather, especially solo. But I haven't really used it at all. I'm sure this can't last. Let's see, still got 20 minutes on the invisibility. I really should turn off extend for it. That's better. Wow, this will be my most pacifist video of the whole series. That's pretty good. I would have bothered to try and bring something in to deal with the final Guardian Scorpion if I knew I was going to get this far.
Iona whispers.
Ooh.
Iona whispers. Iona whispers.
A roaming scorpion has spotted you. Watch out for ambush.
Wow. I'm going to have trouble sneaking until this aura wears off. Let's fight some giants then.
Iona whispers.
A roaming scorpion has spotted you. Watch out for ambush.
Alright. Don't know if I really need the shrine, to be honest, but at least I have it clear. Yeah, I don't think I really need it here. That may have been slightly dumb. All right. I guess I may as well use the shrine. There's really no reason not to. So any other guild rules that are interesting? I guess, let's see. So you're allowed to sell stuff on the auction house, but not above list price. And you're allowed to buy stuff on the auction house, but I only use that for buying tomes. So this guy hasn't bought anything on the auction house. Or I may have bought one or two scrolls on the auction house, but stuff that could be bought elsewhere. Can't remember if I've used that on this guy or not now. It's been a long time. Certainly no equipment. Alright, let's do some more amateur stealthing. Actually, I suppose I could have got Featherfall as a spell here. Might have been useful, given I'm doing a lot of jumping around. Yes, much easier to sneak without a skeleton following me around. That sort of worked.
Iona whispers. Iona whispers.
You will have to kill the guardian to get through.
Yes. Damn, I think I drew more attention. That's cheating. I should have been able to hit him there. Okay. The fire giant gave me an Ice Games coin. Okay. Not where I expected to get that from. So I'll put a link to the guild rules in the description for anyone that wants to have a look and hasn't seen them yet. There are basically two types of Permadeath guild. There are the ones that try to make the game really hard, which appeals to some of the players that have been playing for a very long time and want a bit more of a challenge. And then there's guilds like Extreme Explorers that aren't trying to make the game more difficult, they're just trying to make the game more interesting by requiring people to play more sensibly. I'm worried about a trap in the next room here, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these scorpions. I used to take the scorpions in this quest very seriously. I remember I died in this quest to the very first scorpion fight the first time I came in here. Well, that wasn't a Permadeath character. Alright, time to find out if there's a fire trap in here. Seems not.
The air in this chamber is dusty and stagnant. It must not have been disturbed for centuries.
I'm not going to mess with the treasure trove here. That's a pretty nasty fight. I've only seen it done once or twice. Alright, is there any possible way of getting this final Guardian? Nope.
Guardian has noticed you.
Iona whispers,
You will have to kill the Guardian to get through.
Okay.
Iona whispers,
There it is. We've done it. Behold the Claw of Vulkoor.
Alright, well that was quick and that went surprisingly well. I wouldn't expect to have got any of the Guardians on this guy, given he's not at all sneaky. Okay. I've got plenty of inventory space, so I think I will go on to the next quest. And the next quest is... let's see. That would be Fathom the Depths, which is the one at the top of the ziggurat up there. I should actually buff, really. So, yes, what was I saying? So, whereas some girls are trying to make the game really hard,
peaceful times, the Raven Eye clan hunted game from atop this platform.
Extreme Explorers is mostly just about playing with sensible tactics. That's certainly the reason that I'm playing Permadeath. I got pretty annoyed with the standard pug tactics of not really caring whether people died or not, charging recklessly into every situation. I much prefer the Permadeath approach where you really have to think about what you're doing. As quickly becomes apparent listening to my commentary on these videos, I'm thinking about pretty much every fight I go into, worrying about the possibility of dying, which to anyone that doesn't play Permadeath would probably seems a little silly, since I spend most of my time worrying about fights that then go really easily. But of course the reason I don't die is that I am worrying about every fight. Well, except maybe one or two of these. Well, I did remember to buff after a few fights in there. Wow, evasion. Damn it. Whoa. Alright, who was up with the staring lights? Probably this Deepwater Chandler, I'm thinking. I can't see it in my combat log, but that was a heavy hit. Alright, the rare's not here, so up the ziggurat. I suppose I could have gone to the ziggurat from the other side. I always forget that. I suppose I should do the mushroom field while I'm here.
From up here, you can see a massive wall of magical force surrounding the nearby inlet. The Sahagin created this barrier to protect their underwater home from retaliation.
Okay. So if these guys throw light damage around, I'll have to avoid going into the quest in vampire form. Oh. Yeah, these guys hit way too hard to go in vampire form. In fact, I might even go in not in undead form at all. So they're hitting pretty hard. I can't remember how many channels there are in the quest, but it's not going to be one or two.
Sahagin guard the top of the ziggurat. It's clear the fish people are trying to find something inside the ancient structure.
Nice, Sahagin Hunter. Okay. I think I'll try sticking with zombie form for the quest. So I'm hitting for 60 or 70 in vampire form, they'll be hitting for 40 or 50 in zombie form, which I think is bearable. Provided I keep my eye on them. There's not usually more than one or two of them at once. Okay. And I'll break the video there and make a new video for the next quest. See you next time.